Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today I'm going to try and fix up this Game Boy Advance SP here. This is a little clamshell one, and the model number is AGS001. So this was sent in by Mike from One Up Gaming Limited over on eBay. If you're interested in games and gaming related stuff, then check out his store over there. So Mike sent me various things now throughout the years, and I've got another package through with loads of interesting items. So I'm looking forward to picking through them one by one. So big thumbs up to Mike for yet again sending through interesting items. So with this one here, this says it plays GB, so plays Game Boy games, but does not play Game Boy Advance games. And then he put, and then I broke the cart slot. So he must have been trying to fix it. And if you have a look in here, can you see the cart slot looks a little bit mangled over on the this side here. You can see there's, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4 pins. So not too bad, it's just 4 pins that are out. So what I'm thinking is I might be able to use this kind of dentist toothpick type thing to go behind the pins and push them back. That's what I'm intending to do anyway, and then we can find out why it's playing Game Boy games but not GBA games. And he also sent me through here, and this one here, and it says here are some spare chips, and the cover of this one looks quite nice, so maybe I might be able to use the spares in here to get this one working, make one good one out of 2 bad ones. So I plugged this in earlier and it's not actually doing anything, so maybe there's no battery in here, I'm not too sure, but when I plug it in there, hold on a minute, did I just see it flash orange there? Oh, there we go, look! Is that a dodgy port, or is it... Hold on. Okay, well that's already interesting. Let's open this up here, and let's see. Is it going to turn on? Oh, it is. Oh, it does. Oh. Oh, what's going on? It's not happy, is it? Right, let's take that out. And now let's see. I'll tell you what, let's just make sure that there is a battery in here, because maybe these turn on without a battery inside. And this video today is sponsored by no other than the My Mate Vince Massive, which this month consists now, get this, 5 members. Unbelievable, I didn't even think we'd get one. So we've got Saturnine Cinema, followed by Robert Hughes, then we got Operational 117, then kitdigital.com, and now Cassie Clark as well. So 5 members, which is unbelievable. So those 5, along with all the other Patreons, make videos like this possible. That's right, let's open this up and see what, see if there's a battery in here or not. Ah, okay, no battery. Now, that is probably why, and also maybe the contact at the back is just a little bit dirty. Yeah, I reckon just that, linked with the fact that it's a bit dirty, it means it's not happening. Right, so let's put that in there. Now let's see what's happening. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we just need to clean the port up, so that's one thing fixed. Now I think what we should do is, we can't put any game in there because this is all bent up in here. So I think I'm going to zoom right in. I'm going to try to unpick these, and we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to take the battery out. Right, so you can see them all here. Now I can actually see a bit of damage on the plastic. Let's just see if we can kind of scrape that away, because that's going to foul the cart from going in, isn't it? Okay, that's not going to cause a problem. I'll clean all that out at the very end. Let's just scrape that to the bottom. Let's go all the way along. Right, so that's all going to be okay, and this side here looks perfect. Now we're going to go along here. Let's see if we can just... How am I going to get these down now? They need to go under there, so they kind of need to be grabbed by tweezers, twisted and put back and then pushed up. They need to go through this little gate here, don't they? Or could I, because it's plastic, could I force that through? Then I wouldn't have to be bending them. I'll try one, and if it doesn't go well, then I'll take it apart. There you go. See, I've got that one in. I can clean up the plastic afterwards. But look, can you see now? Down, down, down. That's going to work, I'm sure of it. So now I need to do the same with the others. Right, success. So check them out now. They are all below those bits there, and can you see the actual pins that are making the contact are all roughly about the same height. Yeah, well, we know these ones over this side were okay anyway, so where are we now? These ones here are all the bashed up ones, and if you have a look now, so the game goes in and it's going to be hitting against all these pins here, and watch, can you see they all now move up and down? And more importantly, the game cartridge, I haven't turned it on yet, but look, the games do go in without damaging the pins. So watch this, Game Boy game goes in normally, comes out normally, and if you have a look, can you see the pins are still fine? And Game Boy Advance game goes in normally, comes out normally, and again the pins are still fine. So let's pop the battery back in, and he said it doesn't play GBA games. So first of all, let's put in a Game Boy game. In fact, this is another game that Mike sent me. Everything here is Mike stuff. Right, so you can see it's been recognised there, yeah, because it's gone small. Is it actually going to read it? I might need to clean the cards. That's not reading it, is it? Or maybe some of those pins are not making a contact. Maybe I need to lift them up more. Right, okay, well, it's recognising it as a Game Boy game. Let's plug in this one. This is Game Boy Advance. Right, so that's not being recognised either. So I think, because there's a little switch in here that changes between Game Boy and GBA, because if you have a look, can you see the difference between the games here? If you have a look at this one, can you see that this is kind of like squared off here while this has a bit taken out? And there's a little, I'm talking about these grooves here. So that's how this knows whether it's a GBA game or a Game Boy game. And if you have a look, it's to do with, watch, when I put my tweezers in, can you see this little switch here moving down? So that's how it knows whether it's a Game Boy game or not. Because the GBA will groove over that, there's a groove, but the Game Boy game will just push that right down. And so that's how it knows. So if I was to do that now and turn it on, hope I don't short anything out, it should come up with a Game Boy logo. Let's just do that. Let's do it with some plastic. So can you see now I've got some ceramic tweezers, push that in there and turn it on, and can you see the screen goes small? Yeah. Right, let's... what I'm going to do again is, now I'm just going to look closely at here, I'm going to make sure all the pins are pushed up. If you look at these ones that are not damaged here, so we've got a nice bit of height to them, but there you go, look at the difference there, I didn't notice that before, but look, these are all the same height, yeah? You can see the implement here, but look at the difference here, look, see I'm touching these, but I'm not touching these, so although they look the same height, when I actually move this along them, they're not, so these are all the same here, but this one's definitely not the same, so I'm going to go under here, and I'm going to try to force it up more. Don't want to do it too much because then it's going to break against that. Right, okay, so I've been bending them up. I know it looks a mess in there, but they're not perfect, but they are higher up now. So let's see if that's made any difference or not. Right, it's recognising Game Boy. Yes! Excellent! Right, now, was that just a fluke? Let's go on to this one here. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Yes! There it is again. That's it, that's it. Brilliant. Oh, but that button's not working. That should bring it back down small again. Okay, well that's doing what it needs to do. Let's try a GBA game now. I'm wondering if the problem all along was to do with the pins being slightly bent. Let's see if this is going to work. Come on. No, it's not, is it? So now we're kind of back to the original problem that Mike had, apart from it looks like this button here is not working either. I'm just going to quickly try each of these just to see if it makes any difference. Well, we got a bit further on that one, but it's just seized up there. How strange. And that one's working, but that doesn't look right, does it? No, that's not right. Okay, there's definitely something not right with the GBA. So I'll tell you what we're going to do, because we have to fix this thing up here anyway. Let's take it apart and see what's going on. I've just noticed you have access to like a potentiometer thing there. I wonder what that's about. Never noticed that before. Right, you need a tri-wing screwdriver to undo these ones. So what I'm not sure at the moment is it something to do with the pins, where the GBA uses more pins than, for example, the normal Game Boy or Game Boy Color games? Or is it something to do with the chips on the inside? A little bit of dirt around here, but nothing too bad. Yeah, definitely signs of corrosion up here. And you can clearly see that little switch now for the GBA and the Game Boy games. Just there. Just going to undo these three little screws just to get the circuit board out. And let's undo the ribbon cable for the screen. There we go. Okay, well first of all, let's work out the switch. So it was this switch here that wasn't working right. So let's get our meter, we'll go to continuity, and we'll go onto the little pins up here and see if we can find out what's wrong with it. Hold on a minute. Oh, sorry, this is the side that's faulty, isn't it? Because this is the button presses. Beg your pardon. Right, so let's go on this one here. This is the working side. There you go. Can you see now when I go on the middle two, I know it looks a mess, but when I go on the middle two and press the button, it works. Yet on this side, when I go on the middle two and press the button, it doesn't work. So we know it's the switch itself which is faulty. So let's just take this out here and let's just see, is it clicking nicely? Right, so it's clicking nicely, so it must be corrosion in here. So let's put a load of IPA in here and then constantly just jiggle it around the place, and then after that we can start worrying about maybe why it's not playing GBA games. I'm just hoping if there's any bit of corrosion or dirt in there that this might clean it out, but it might not. It's not going to be the hardest thing in the world to change over, because you can see there's just 4 contacts anyway. Right, let's see if that's starting to make any difference. Back onto continuity again. Here we go. It's working. And now I've got to try and get this back into here. So this is just like a rubber, so it should get back in there by squeezing it in. Right, so I'm on it now. There you go. Doesn't seem to be clicking though. Okay, well, I'll let it dry out and let everything get back into place, and then it might start clicking again. Right, now we need to wonder why it's not working on GBA, but it's working on GB. So I presume that some chips are going to be for GBA and some chips are going to be for GB. Now I can already see something on this one here. So let's zoom right in and have a close look, just in case it could be corrosion related, or it still could be as simple as one of these pins is not pushed up fully. Okay, so we know we've got corrosion up here, yeah? And if you look down, that doesn't look too healthy right here, does it? That there doesn't look great. So maybe those pads are not making a connection anymore. What else we got? We've got something on here. No, that's not going to be anything. Let's go down. I don't know if this chip is to do with the GPA. And we got something here as well. So I think this is going to benefit from just cleaning. No, I think that's okay. It could be just those pads up the top there. Let's give it a clean first before I start scraping. And also while I'm here, I'm going to clean out the inside of this charge port. While I've got the IPA out, I'm just going to clean up the buttons and stuff a little bit as well. Okay, so I've given it a bit of a clean now. But let's zoom right in and have a look, see what's going on with this one here, because this one still doesn't look healthy. I mean, this might be completely unrelated, but it doesn't look right. Thing is though, these are not going to any wires, so maybe these ones don't do anything. This one is though. Can I go between here? Right, so that goes there. Look, nothing on there, and is that not coming on the same pad? I can't tell. No, I don't think it is. These pads look like they go into nowhere. So if we flip the board round, we've got two wires underneath this hole here. Two wires underneath this hole. Going to be these two. So they don't look like they're in use anyway. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get the soldering iron out and let's just put a little bit of flux on here and just try to neaten it up a little bit. And I think I'm going to get... Should I get the fiberglass pen or should I just put solder on it? You know, I'm just going to put solder on it. It's already, look, it's already cleaning up just by me scraping it there. I don't think they're doing anything. I don't think any of these pins here or here are doing anything. Okay, so I'm sure this isn't going to make a difference, but just in case for some reason it's causing a short between some pins that don't need to be shorted, I'm just going to reflow that bit there. Right, I think they're done, so I'm going to clean it with IPA and then have a close look at it. Right, so that's them all there. I can't see any bridges on them, and there was a fair bit of solder on there, so I'm pretty sure now they are going to be making a contact. I'm sure that's going to be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back together, see if it's doing anything differently or not. I wish that corrosion was, for example, on these bits here. And then I would think, yeah, that was definitely it. But the corrosion on here, I can't really see how that's going to do anything because those pins are not going anywhere. See if it's going to do anything. Come on. Do something. No. You're no different than you were before. So it's still doing the same as it did before. And I'm happy that the pins are all the same level. The carts are going in lovely. There's definitely nothing wrong there. So, the corrosion there wasn't anything to do with it. But I'm wondering whether the corrosion has damaged this chip here. I'm thinking that this chip might be the chip that's responsible. The problem is those pitch of the pins here are so close together. It's a very hard chip to change over. So I think what I'm going to do is just go across each pin and see where it goes to. It's not going to tell me if the chip's okay or not, but it will tell me if the traces are okay, because there might be a damaged part here that I can't see. So let's zoom in and go across here. In fact, you can see here 156. So there's 156 pins going around here, which is just a huge amount. But if I go across this first one here, you can see that this one is just this big ground here. If I go to this one here, you can see it goes to the via here. Now, to prove where that via goes to, we can just turn the board around and try to search for it, or we can stick something through it. So what I've got here is a hair from the flux brush, you know, the little brush that I use with the IPA on, because these fall out of it. So what I can do is I can shove that through the hole, and that will tell me where it's coming up on the other side. So now let's get the hole, which is here. Or I suppose enamelled wire would just work better, wouldn't it? But just to show you. Okay, so that goes through there, and now you see when we flip it over, we can easily see the hair sticking up here. And then we know it's going to that via, and then I can work out where that via is going to. Now, obviously this is going to take a long time, and if the chip is faulty, this isn't going to make any difference at all. But if the chip is faulty, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare because it's got 156 pins on it. So now let's just do the other one, and then I'll do all the rest off camera. So we're now on number 3 here, and that goes across, down, 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 all the way down to this via here. And let's see if I've got continuity. Yes, I have. So you can see what I'm going to be doing now. Hopefully if I find something interesting, I'll start filming again. Quite a while has passed now, and I've spent a long time tracing all the wires from these pins going to different places. And in the immediate area here, they all go somewhere. Obviously I don't know after they go into, for example, a capacitor, whether it goes on after that or a resistor that goes on. But the immediate area, they definitely all go somewhere. So I looked online to see if anybody else is having this problem with GBA reading Game Boy games, but not GBA games. And a few people mentioned it, but there was no meaningful answers apart from everybody going on about this little switch down here. And the other solution was to get a new motherboard, which is not an option for trying to fix video. So if you have a look now, 100% this switch is working, because look, when there's nothing in there, these two contacts here are shorting, and then when we put something in there, no, sorry, got to put a Game Boy one in there, haven't we? So when we put a Game Boy one in there, it pushes that lever up, and look, those two pins are no longer shorting, but the middle two pins are shorting. So what am I going to do? Well, I had a look at this one that Mike gave me here. Now I don't know what the matter with this one. It says check L and R buttons, so yeah, this might be an easy fix. There's no screen in it, but the thing is, obviously, if you were doing this to make money as a business, then you would try to fix this one, because right now this is unfixable. So this might just need 2 new L and R switches and it might be working. But remember, this is a video and we want to learn, and it's for entertainment. And for me, I want to know why this isn't working more than actually having a working product at the end of it. Because if I can find out the problem with it, then you see in the future it's going to help a lot more other people out than me just changing out these 2 switches here, where there's probably already 50 videos out there on how to do that already. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to unsolder this chip here, and then I'm going to put this chip in. Now I've been looking up about these chips, and basically this chip here, this CPU here, I believe this is RAM, but can you see there's not much chips on here? From memory, I think that was something to do with audio, I think, from memory last time, but I've forgotten. I need to watch back my old video. But this one here is the CPU, this one here I believe is the RAM, and then this little thing here is a crystal for the timing. So I think how it works is that this chip is the same as having 2 chips in one. So this chip is the old Game Boy chip, which I think is a sharp chip, but it's also the GBA chip. So I presume what happens is, when this button is pressed in here, it's livening up the Game Boy side of this chip, and when it's out here, it's livening up the GBA, the Game Boy Advance side of this chip here. So it points to me that this chip is not working, because I've checked all the traces, and they all appear to be okay. So I'm thinking it's a chip problem. Now, it might not be a chip problem, but I can't see what else I can do. I don't think it's anything to do with the switch. I don't think it's anything to do with here. It can't be anything to do with the crystal, I don't think, because the Game Boy side of it's working. Can it be RAM when the Game Boy side of it is working? Not so sure. So I'm thinking it's to do with this chip. So let's take this one out, try to get this one in, see if it works. It's going to be a hard one to do because it's 156 pins on something which is the size of the tip of your finger. But yeah, it's going to be interesting either way. And Mike's already given me another board here to test. So let's give that a go. I don't really know what else to do on it. Apart from that, I'm kind of lost. So that is the last thing that I can do. Let's give it a go. It's going to get a little bit of Captain Tape. Maybe mask off a few of the plastic things just to try to keep the heat away from them. Right, I'm just putting flux around this chip here. The reason I'm doing this one here is because if it's a complete nightmare and if I burn everything when I take it off, then I won't risk the other board that might be fixable. I'm only doing this because I truly believe that this board is not fixable. I at this moment in time, do think it is that chip. And that is the flux I'm using. It's like tacky flux. Okay, let's give this a go. Zoom in. I'm setting my airflow to 5 out of 8 and I've got my temperature at 480 degrees Celsius. Here we go. Actually, I didn't check on the other side to see what I could... Oh, yeah. So I hope none of that comes off because we're going to need quite a lot of heat to get this chip off on this side here. I can see the solder starting to go a bit shiny already. It's a very thin board, so hopefully it won't struggle too much to come off. Yeah, it's coming. Oh, that was awful. Oh no. Oh, right, I took capacitors and all sorts off there, I bet. I can see there's something stuck in here, unless that's just, that's capacitors. That was awful. It was going well, and then, you see, the tweezers just didn't grip properly and just took them off. Now, luckily I've got another board and I can copy where the capacitors go. There's one here that's moved. So I think before I put the new one on, let's try to get the capacitors back in their place. What a disaster. But there you go, see, other people wouldn't include that. I would include that, because then if you do that and you make a mistake, you know you're not the only one. That is a shame. Right, I'm going to look real closely and see where these came from. Actually, before I worry too much about that, looking closely here, you know where the corrosion was? It looks like there's black marks on this side of the pads. Do you know what would be amazing? If this chip wasn't faulty, but the pads themselves were faulty. Because remember I said they don't go anywhere. They do. They go inside. They don't go out this way. They go inside. I didn't think that there'd be tracks underneath. Right, let's zoom right in. Now I'm more hopeful. Let's forget about those capacitors. That can be fixed. I think they're just mainly from all up here. Look, all these ones here. And this one's been knocked off and one there. So that's not actually the end of the world. Right, this is good. Now, what I would love to see, love to hear, is there being no continuity between some of these ones here and the wires here. That would be amazing. Please, please, please. Right, okay, now what should we start with? Let's start with this one here. So this goes to here. Ah, annoying. Right, let's do the next one. That goes to, next one goes to here. Ah! Okay, third one. I'm losing hope now. Please be this one. Come on, come on, come on. I'm on the third one. Am I on the third one? Right, there. Third, 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 third. Oh, yes. Yes! There's no continuity. It could be that one there. Oh, brilliant. Right, okay, I'm going to give this a real good clean up, get rid of all this flux, and then we'll have a close look there. That would be amazing if there's a hairline break there, and if that was the only thing causing it, that would be good. And do you know what would have been interesting? If I had a spare board without the chips on, I could have seen where that wire goes to. I could have picked it up on this side, and I could have just run a jumper wire around to the pin, and then this wouldn't have had to come off. But I didn't have, you know, I haven't got a, well, I've got a donor board here, but yeah, see, that's why it's useful to have donor boards with no chips on, because you can trace exactly where the things go. Then when I seen that corrosion, I would have known that the pins were going inside, and I could have just run a jumper, and this could have been fixed possibly with just a jumper. Now I've done a whole load of work for myself, because I've got to try to get this back on and get all the capacitors and stuff back on. But I do love it when you actually find, the finding of the fault is more important to me than anything else, because that's the most exciting thing, the locating of the fault, to find out what was wrong with it. So let's now do that again. The third one is this one here, and that's not okay. There, goes to there, but not there. That, I'm pretty sure, is our problem. There might be other problems, but yeah, that's it there. It's a little break just here, between here and here. Yeah. Excellent, so it's gone there, and they were the pins that were corroded, do you remember? Oh, I wish I had had a spare board here, because then I would have, you know, oh, it would have been fixable. Right, let's see, it still might be fixable, So what I need to do now is, what do I need to do to begin with? I think I'm going to take off try to get rid of these capacitors here. I wonder, are they all going to be the same value or not? Well, I suppose I can take them off and see. They might all be the same value. If they're not, then I'm going to have to take these ones off, measure these, and get them back into the right place. Just in case you're curious, I'm going to take them off by just heating up the legs and just taking off the capacitors with the tweezers, just like that. That's one gone. That's another one gone. Another one. And another one. I measured all the capacitors down here, and they all read 150 nanofarad apart from one of them, which is like a beige colour, and that reads 10 nanofarad. And looking back at the video earlier, I can see that the lighter one went here, where this little arrow is. So basically, this one, this one, this one, and I presume this one is all going to be the same, which is 150 nanofarad, and this is the 10 nanofarad one. This one here is, I presume, just going to be on that one there. And this one here got knocked over in between these two here. So now I know where they all go with a fair bit of certainty, not 100% certainty. Add a little bit of flux to each of these ones here, add a little bit of hot air, and try to just get them in one by one. Now I'm going to lower down the airflow now, right the way down to, I'm going to go to 3 out of 8 on this one here. Starting to melt now. It's come off. There we go. Can you see that's gone into its place? Now I have to try to get this middle one out. Where's it gone? It's stuck against that one. It's always the way. Let's try to pick it off. There we go. Come on, get down. Right, that's what that one there. Where's that one gone now? I've lost that one. Let me get my eye loop on that. Oh, okay. That one has tombstones, so can you see it's sticking up nicely? I believe that's what they call tombstoning. So let's add heat on that, knock that down, and that means these ones then are going to be back in their home. There we go. And that one's happy there. Right, now we can start adding in the other ones. Let's start with the light beige one to begin with, and that's going to go here. I think that one pulled in. Like that one pulled in. That's tombstoning. That one's gone in. And that one's gone in. Right, so now we've rectified the disaster that we had before. So what I have to do now is I have to try and fix this broken trace here. So I'm going to get a fiberglass pen and I'm just going to go across here now to try to scrape some copper back, just to see if I can get, just to see if I can jump it with solder. No, I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to jump that. Let's use a little bit of enamelled wire. I'm going to struggle here. Let me get rid of this a second. I want to get rid of that solder from here. Right, I can clean that up in a minute. Desperate to go to the one next to it. I wonder if it's trying to tell me something. I wonder, is it telling me that that's going to break? Maybe I should just leave one on there. Maybe I should leave that on there, like so. Hold on, and then just do another one next to it. Uh-oh, just got rid of the pad. Oh no, oh no, this is going. Oh no, that pad's gone now as well. Oh no, 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 no. Okay. Oh no. This is going bad now. Right, so now I definitely do have to run 2 bits of wire. So after I headbutted the wall about 7 times and then cried into my pillow for the next 20 minutes, I then got my act together and I did actually manage to run 2 bits of enamelled wire using the same process that I was doing, but this time there was no pads to remove because I'd already removed them. Now we're going to pick up the video where I'm going to put some little solder mask on to try to keep these wires in place, because when I start heating up the chip to get it back on, we're going to have those solder wires just move. So I need to kind of, in a way, glue them into place even though they are soldered. So yeah, it certainly hasn't been easy, but now let's try and get this chip back on and see if we can get any life out of this Game Boy Advance SP. So that's gone nice and hard now. So I'm going to go up to 400 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to have my airflow 5 out of 8. I'm going to point away from these plastic things here and also away from the plastic battery connector. Right, I think I'm going to leave it like that for a minute and then see what's stuck, see what hasn't stuck. I didn't see it move, but remember I've got to be careful with the pins that I've redone up here. Right, okay, I can just tell by wobbling here that none of these have stuck. So now I'm going to add flux all the way around it again, and now I'm going to do it with the soldering iron. I think the problem is, because I've got that solder mask and stuff, they're not going to sit nice and flat on it. Oh, that one's stuck. Right, it is about an hour later, and this has been the most painful soldering I've ever done in my life. So I've had to go across every single pin. I know it looks a mess. I haven't cleaned it yet. Once it's clean, I think it will look okay. I've had to go across every single pin with a needle, and there must have been about 50 of them that wasn't soldered, and I've had to go through them. So I'm just going to show you the last one that I'm going to do now. So done, done, not done. That one there is loose. Done, done. So this one here. The problem is, when you tap it with the soldering iron and the solder, then it's just asking to knock off the one next to it. I'm so close now. Just put a tiny, tiny bit on my iron. And see, then it sticks to that, and then you've got to move it along. Hopefully this will be it now. Oh, no, don't go wrong on the very last one. Imagine that. That would be a Vince special. Come on, move over. Alright, let's try that now. Oh, we're done. Right, now I'm going to clean it all up with IPA, and I don't know whether the flux is helping it stick down or not, so I'm going to give it a good clean, and then I have to go across every single one again and test them. Good news is, these two here with the wires are definitely okay. Right, so that's it cleaned up. Now, I haven't gone across it to test it with the tweezers or a needle again, because I'll be honest with you, I can't face it. So I'm just going to put it back together, and we'll see if it's going to do anything. I haven't done the screws up, but let's see if it's going to do anything. Let's turn that off. Now, come on, be good to me. Come on. You can do it, come on. Yes! Oh, brilliant. Oh. Oh, I've spent hours on this. Oh, there it is. Oh, amazing. First time as well. Right, let's see if the Game Boy games are still working. Come on. You can do it. Oh, what a relief. Oh, honestly, I haven't had that pure joy feeling in a long time. Oh, brilliant. I think you only get that true yes moment when you don't believe it's going to work. Oh, that is so good. Now, I'm going to put the screws back into it and give it a nice clean up with a wet wipe, give the screen a little clean and stuff. And it means now I can do this on another Fix-It video, which is fantastic. We can find out what's wrong with that circuit board, because I'm a bit of a fan of these GBA SPs. Also, I've got to buy a battery for this one, haven't I? I'm sure they're not going to cost a lot on eBay. Right, there we have it. So it's scratched up and stuff, but remember, it's an old console now. I don't care about any of that. The fact is, it's working. Right, let's try a different game. Make sure this one loads up. There we go. And it's not garbled, it's not scrambled anymore, is it? Look at that. Remember before that was all going in different parts of the screen? Fantastic. And 1 second, Game Boy Color game. Yeah, there we go, and look. There, big, small. And before the gameplay at the very end, I forgot to show you that the charge port is now working. So if I plug it in there, you can see the light comes on, unplug it, plug it in again. So that is now fixed, it just needed to be cleaned. Right, now let's show you the end of the video. The gaming, open it up, turn it on. Now let's see if this button works. Yep. Right, let's get this game started. So basically I just got to herd the sheep up into, you can't see anything, can you? Well, that's as good as it gets. I've got to get these sheep into this trailer up here. And I can bark at them every now and then if they're not running. Come on, in you get. Go on. Yes, there's 2 of them. There we go. No, this is not going well. Go on, go on, go on. There we go. Excellent. Finished. So what a result. What a lovely, 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 lovely fix. I really enjoyed that one. So massive, massive thumbs up to Mike. Again, another really interesting one, in my opinion anyway. I know it's going to be a long video, but I thoroughly enjoyed that one and I hope you did too. And that for me is the whole meaning of the trying to fix videos. Something which is near enough unfixable and most people wouldn't spend the time on it. But we got there eventually. I'm so happy, and it just shows you it wasn't the chip. Again, it was to do with corrosion, so it was just where the trace was broken. 1 pin caused the thing not to work on GBA whatsoever. So yeah, so massive thanks to Mike, massive thanks to the My Mate Vince Massive, all the Patreons, and also everybody who watches these videos. Thanks so much. Hopefully we will do another one in a few days' time. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more Trying to Fix videos. Take care. Bye now.
You said it was the last time, but you keep coming back to tell me sorry that you take back all the things you said just to hurt me. Our love just went cold, but I'm still burning. Our love just went cold. Why? I keep on making the same mistake. I always let you back in when I begin to get myself together again. You are back once more like everything's the same. I tried to build my walls up, but you're taking them down. It's tearing me apart, I can't pretend. Now I have to get over you again.